Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Speed Champions Ferrari Ultimate Garage set. It comes with one modern race car and two very nice classics, so let's get straight to the cars to start with. This here is one of the 312 T4 models that won the 1979 Formula One Constructors Championship. This one was second in the points that year. And I have so much respect for the build of this. I think it looks really good for its scale and for how durable it is and how reliable it is to actually put it together. I think it is just masterful. I love how flat they got it, how wide they got it. I love the use of different sized wheels and tires for the front and the rear, though they are still a little bit low in profile for this type of vehicle still. It has the correct effect, and this makes maximal use of some very recent pieces that have been added to the LEGO inventory, and it introduces a new piece as well. What is this thing here? Notice that shape? It is a 2x2 tile with a 45-degree angle, and then they just have a sticker placed on top of that. So that's brand new, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing plenty of that, not just in the Speed Champions line, but in other sets as well. Used to very good effect here. I really like the shaping around the back of the cockpit, how they got that to round off back there, and they use a number of the quarter round 1x1 tile pieces. I'm not sure if this piece right in here, yeah, red against red isn't the best thing, but I'm not sure if this piece is new in a red color. I personally don't have any of those in red from before, but I haven't looked it up in particular to see if that's new. But you know, they use some of the relatively recent 2x2 wedge plates up here for the front wing as well. Just a really nice combination of different types of techniques to create some interesting shapes. The exhaust pipes back here, oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. The exhaust pipes that are the white pieces are the 3 long bars in white there rather than 4 studs long. They let you adjust the angle of the wing there, but they also give you an alternate wing for this one. So that wing is intended to come off easily and to be replaced with this thing, this midship mounted larger wing, and the full assembly for that is included, and you build it at the same time, so you don't need to take anything apart to swap that in. That uses another pair of the 45-degree 2x2 tile pieces, this time in the light gray, and this is the road course wing that was used that year at least Long Beach and Monaco, most famously at Monaco. Not sure where else. Just changes the aerodynamic properties of the vehicle a bit. Presumably a little bit higher downforce, especially towards the front there, just in how it's distributed. But I think that for the scale and for something that's not a mock, you know, something that's actually designed to be built by folks of all ages and hold itself together, and to even be played with, you know, to be rolled around, to be crashed into things, it has good durability, simple enough to put together. I think that it's a masterful imagining of the shapes of this interesting vehicle. And I think that it looks great on display. It does require a lot of stickers. As a matter of fact, the entire set uses, I would say, a ridiculous number of stickers. I mean, look at what's left of the outlines of stickers on this sticker sheet and then this sticker sheet as well. But most of the stickers are actually used on this car, the modern 488 GTE car, so the lower of the upper classes of GT cars. And this has a very different build from the 458 that they did previously. It's practically a ground-up redesign with some really interesting shaping around the sides. Obviously a ton of studs on the side construction, a little bit of use of some of the more recent pieces, including the corner tile pieces, again here used for low profile side view mirrors right there and there. So that's clever and a good use of those parts, I think. Also, they've brought in these 1x1 round hollow plates with the bar extension to give you some of the supports for the front wing or splitter there. Yeah, a ton of stickers though. man, and a lot of them are really small, placed onto 1x2s and such. Takes a while to put those on, and it really doesn't look that good when you leave the stickers off, you know, because there are so many colors here, with the blue getting in there and even the green just really breaking things up. Makes this not a good thing to look at when it's built just plain. Really nicely done diffuser section. I mean, I guess it's kind of simple, but I like it personally. And again, you can change the angle of the wing as before. They do use on all of the Speed Champions cars now, they do use a lot of the 1x2 curve pieces, you know, 1x2 by 2/3 curves, either the traditional ones or the relatively recent ones that also have a notch that's cut into the side. Lots more stickers to be seen there on the top, and canopy comes off pretty easily, and you just get a printed console piece in there and just a regular steering wheel. I feel like this one looks a little bit better in its proportions than the last Ferrari GT car, but still suffers a little bit of the original's problem of not necessarily looking like a mid-engine car. I still feel like the canopy the whole cabin should have been moved forward by one stud to make it look more solidly like a proper mid-engine car. And then there's this, the 250 GTO, one of the most valuable cars on the auction market today. And here I again have to appreciate the shaping given its size and the use of relatively new pieces in the LEGO inventory, including very notably the round 1x2 plates here with the hollow studs to fill up that space a little bit. And one thing that I actually neglected to mention on the GTE car was the use of a new mold for that front fender, and this GTO uses that as well, and this one uses it at the front and the back, so these kind of curve under, whereas the standard Speed Champions ones, as you see on the back of this GTE car, go straight down to the ground, and these new ones curve under for just a bit of a different shape. Really works on this classic car. Another interesting thing that was done with this one is the build of kind of the underbody of the nose. Look at that. They used a short roof piece, short rounded roof piece, here done in red, attached upside down. Looks pretty good from the front. Gives it a little extra little droop there, a little extra dynamism, a little extra movement for the eyes to follow along, I think. I mean, all the Speed Champions cars, street cars especially, are narrow and long, and a lot of them are tall as well, but that's just kind of their style. And I respect that. It's really difficult to create good details in any kind of scale anywhere near what works for minifigs or relative to them. The only thing that I really dislike about this design here is that pronounced gap behind the rear fenders. So that exists on both sides, and it's not particularly pretty. That said, though, I do like the shaping of the rear deck and the shaping of the relatively flat rear end of it. We got the 4 exhaust ports down there. This is a printed 1x1 round tile on top, not a new piece, but shows you the gas filler. Just such a different build. It really is its own thing. It's very unique, and for this one to get access to the driving compartment, it's just a small older style of windscreen there, and it's a little bit more cramped than usual for Speed Champions cars to get the figure in there, because you have to put it in from the top and then push him back beneath the rear part of the overhang of the roof there. But he does get a little, regular steering wheel once again. Fair number of stickers used on this one again, but it's easy to leave most of those off. I strongly recommend putting the front one on for the grille and these 2 little air inlets on the sides as well, but beyond that you can definitely start to leave some stuff off and it'll still look cool. As a matter of fact, it'll start to look more like a plain street car. Now this is kind of a combination Ferrari Motorsports museum and garage or paddock, and they have a vehicle lift, so you can drive a vehicle up from here and just get it roughly situated in the center, kind of, and then just push on this lever here to jack it up, and it'll lift the whole thing up into the air. So that's one thing you can do with this, but it's also intended to be folded apart. So this is just a separate little barrier that's used to protect a particularly valuable vehicle, and then this kind of wing here pops out. This pops out. There's a wing over there too, but this all opens up to make it nice and wide, and just to completely change the shape of things. So you can start to display some vehicles here. So the idea is, you might want to put one on display there, and then just have this barrier there so people don't mess with the car. I like the stickers here quite a lot. Each one represents one of the vehicles. You got some representations of some models there. Yeah, really nice stickers. Big old championship trophy. Not sure which is my favorite sticker. Obviously, all of the Speed Champion sets tend to come with extra sets of wheel hub covers. So there's an extra set there for your GTE car. And the regular Lego set of tools is available and kind of spread about. Some of the pieces are in these drawers, and some of them are on top of some of the tabletops. So some storage space there, and space to walk around. This is a nice little build for a classic glass bulb top. Don't know the proper terminology for that, but just the old style of gas pump. A couple very important stickers used for that. Got some more tools over here, and I already mentioned that's just storage for the extra wing for the 312. This is definitely one of those builds that has a camera-friendly side, and then the other side is just kind of plain. They just didn't put any effort here because it would have required extra pieces, which would have increased the cost, and just a simple compromise. Lastly, they include this little bit of track here, which I think is a very nice design for its size and how many pieces were dedicated to it. This does use 2 of the 90-degree roller coaster track pieces in the very useful light gray color. So that's a new construction to get the archway there. I think it makes for a great presentation. They give you a couple of berms, and then you can also change the angles of these entire sections, as well as these individual bits of barrier here. So if you want to make something straight there, you can, and you can definitely rearrange these pieces to make them do different things for you. Maybe have this come into a straight and then into a turn or something like that. It's all just a bit reconfigurable, so you can kind of choose what you want to do with those sections. I think it's a good start. And folks who want to use a little bit of imagination will take some of these pieces apart and rearrange them in different ways or add to them. And here's how that looks from the back. And because of the design in this, I think it actually looks pretty cool from around the back as well. Here are the 3 driver figures up closer, left to right in the order that I showed the cars. So the 312 driver on the left, the 488 in the middle, and the 250 GTO driver on the right. The key things to look at here are the torso prints, and also the legs a little bit, but mostly the torso prints, because you can change out the heads as you want. There are still more figures in this set as well, especially if you want to make the one on the left more historically accurate, if you want to put it back into the original era. But I think these look good, and I especially like the torso on the left. It's a little bit different, and I guess I like the one on the right as well. I don't know, I guess I just appreciate the classic stuff. And then for the faces, these are what you get. Just a little bit better look. The guy on the right is a little bit older than he may have appeared at first, and none of these have alternate faces. And here are the other 4 figures in the set, with the 2 Ferrari employees on the left. One gets a flag to wave around, and then either 2 fans or 1 fan and a old school member of the press. The guy on the far right looks a little bit familiar to me. I think it might be the torso, because I had a sweater like that in the early 80s. I think it was either a hand-me-down or a thrift store special. Look at these from around the backs. I appreciate the use of the same torso for these two, so you can just swap stuff around as you want. No need for a gender-specific torso there. This gives more options to kids to set up their figures however they want. And one of these gets an alternate face, and with everything removed so you can see things a little bit more clearly, there are their main frontal faces, or the only face for 3 of them. I think this set is done pretty well overall. I think they did very good justice to the shaping of each of these cars, which is the most important thing to me as a car fan in general. Yet, all the builds are easy enough to put together for kids, and they are durable enough to hold themselves together while just driving around, actually playing with them. And I think that all of the kind of background stuff that they included here, aside from the figures and the cars, is useful and pretty tasteful as well. So nothing here really feels like a throwaway to me. There are a few little things that I don't like that gap, and this could have been shifted forward a little bit. No, the stickers, so many stickers. But in reality, when it comes to the sticker thing, I mean, the real car there, the real 488 GTE that they're representing has even more markings on it than they got onto the car. I mean, it's kind of a rainbow slash clown makeup looking kind of car. There's so many colors splashing everywhere on the real thing. So they had to do that. There's just no way around it. But this is just a nicely presented set. I think that a lot of car fans would appreciate this and would appreciate just displaying the cars as is. I mean, even stuff like that is a nice little detail. And this side right here doesn't look that great. I guess it doesn't look that bad when you set up to kind of represent the side of a pit lane. Yeah, not so bad after all, I guess, with the proper context. But just overall, I think they've done good stuff here, and I appreciate the parts, appreciate the builds, appreciate the homage to the history of Ferrari here as well. So that's it for this review. Thank you for watching. More to come. I'll talk to you again soon.